Nothing breaks up the January break from the UFC like rewatching old fights and reading up on the latest MMA news. MMA Corner TV has prepared some interesting stories that we will cover today. Say what you want about Jorge Masvidal, but you have to agree that he had one of the most amusing careers in combat sports. His thorny path is full of ups and downs. He revived his career after 2 defeats when he knocked out Darren Till on the enemy's field. And after a few months, Gamebred returned with the fastest knockout in UFC history over Ben Askren, where he was catapulted to stardom. Masvidal retired from MMA in 2023 after 52 matches and, unfortunately, the last 4 defeats. However, as this sport is full of surprises, on the 1st of January on his X profile, Gamebred announced, "Unretired." Let us remember what he told ESPN in October. No names right now, but I can tell you it's early next year, and I can tell you somebody is going to get killed. The cryptic announcement did not indicate where, with whom, or when, although it is speculated that his return could be at the anniversary UFC 300. Gamebred, after his stardom and the money he made, enjoyed 8 months of retirement, but it looks like we can't keep the fighting dog on a leash for long. Rumors say the opponent could be Nate Diaz, and maybe even a rematch with Colby Covington. We can only speculate and wait eagerly for further news. What do you guys think? Who will the opponent be? In our last videos, we mentioned a few times about the rapid growth of Diego Lopez in the UFC, who, after 2023, deserves a lot of attention, which he eventually got. We told you guys to remember his name, and we were right. MMA Junkie and Cage Side Press are proud to announce that Diego Lopez has been named Newcomer of the Year, and for him, the past year has been like a movie story. Although he lost his debut, he earned the respect of Evloev, Dana White, and everyone who watched the battle. In the rest of the year, Lopez defeated Gavin Tucker with an armbar and Pat Sabatini with a knockout, and in all 3 matches, he took home $50,000 in bonuses, which he says changed his life and that of his family. He paid off his debts and built a house for his mother, and says he can now peacefully focus on his MMA career. "I gave my family a promise that I was going to make it to the UFC, and I was going to help my mom finish building her house. It was that. The first thing I did after my fight was return to my city and buy all the materials needed to finish the house. That was a weight taken off my shoulders. I accomplished my goal, and now I've set new goals to win my fights, enter the top 15, and make a run for the title." Diego is a solid and humble guy, and his story is truly inspiring. Lopez obviously has his priorities straight, and it will be fun to see what 2024 will bring for him. How impressed are you by the Brazilian's performances? Sean Strickland Male Fighter of the Year. On behalf of MMA Junkie, you are a 2023 Male Fighter of the Year. The whole team, together with Sean, received and celebrated the big news for Strickland from MMA Junkie. This year, Tarzan went full throttle and was active with 3 well-worked matches, which he celebrated with victory. At the beginning of the year, in January, he won a referee's decision against Nasruddin Imavov in a short-notice match. On July 1, Tarzan returned to knock out Abusapyan Magomedov and secure a middleweight title shot. Now, we all know how the fight went, and the big upset against champion Israel Adesanya. Strickland was on fire that night, as he's been all year, and all his hard work paid off, which is something true MMA fans always love to see. Sean occupied the media world as well, appearing non-stop in public on interviews and podcasts, and when he came to the spotlight, he also shared his life story with his fans. Strickland was a menace to society this year on the microphone, saying things that are on many people's minds but not on their tongues. If he is in the same physical and mental shape, and it is not excluded that he will show up even better, 2024 could also be a big year for him. With the new year comes new challenges, and already, on January 20th, he will have his first title defense. His opponent and former KSW champion, Dricus Duplessis, is not someone Sean can overlook. The press conference was heated, and Dricus managed to strike Strickland's nerve. The already ignited fire between the 2 top middleweights promises a top banger. UFC's goal for the anti-doping policy is to be the best, most effective, and most progressive anti-doping program in all of the professional sports, said UFC Chief Business Officer Hunter Campbell. Now that USDA is out of the picture after a long collaboration with the UFC, it's time for a new anti-doping program. UFC officials said the program will be administered by Combat Sports Anti-Doping, CSAD, whose president is Jorge, who has worked in federal and local law enforcement over 30 years, including the FBI, and is also a BJJ world champion. This program comes into force on December 31st, and all UFC fighters will be required to comply with it. The overview of the new anti-doping policy is as follows. Sample collection will be performed by the global leader of the anti-doping industry, Drug-Free Sport International. The samples will be analyzed at the World Anti-Doping Agency by Sports Medicine and Research Testing Laboratory. Administration and sanctioning will be supervised independently by the Combat Sports Anti-Doping. All prohibited and permitted substances will remain on the list without any change. UFC athletes will have access to the new UFC Whereabouts platform, so they can report their location and be more easily found for adequate testing. The UFC strives to do the best job possible when it comes to testing their fighters. They also aim to correct past mistakes and create an almost perfect anti-doping system that will allow as fair competition as possible for fighters who put their lives on the line for all of us anyway. An unexpected title defense I hear rumoring around. It seems Belal Muhammad would be next, picking a backup and all that. Do you see he should be next, or maybe there are other options? Other options. I don't feel like Belal should be next. I've done it before, won like 10 fights, so it makes him different or more privileged. Remember how many times Leon Edwards said that his next title defense would not be against Muhammad Belal? Well, he lied. UFC 300 is an event that is often mentioned, and a lot of attention is paid to its preparation. Some fights are already scheduled, and they're not bad, but fans have expressed their displeasure at a potential main event between Belal Muhammad and Leon Edwards for the welterweight title. This fight was announced by Ariel Helwani. True, Belal is not the most impressive and attractive fighter, but he has been undefeated since 2019. Meanwhile, he has defeated welterweight greats such as Demian Maia, Stephen Thompson, Vincent Luke, Sean Brady, and Gilbert Burns, which is impressive. Belal entered the match in 2021 against Edwards, which ended in a no contest due to Leon eye-poking Belal early in the fight. We never saw how the rest of the match would play out, and it might be interesting to finally resolve that dilemma. Fun fact is that Belal will be preparing in Dagestan for this fight. The real question is, what do you, as fans, think? Are you ready to give a chance for a fight between these two? After winning the interim heavyweight championship against the dangerous Sergey Pavlovich last year, Tom Aspinall had some disagreements with the president regarding the next match and unification of the title. John Jones got injured and moved the bout to 2024, and Stipe Miocic is the only one who can be considered as an opponent for Dana White. Tom expressed dissatisfaction and a desire to compete and was put in an uncomfortable and uncertain situation. However, things become clearer regarding his future. Tom decided to swim downstream with the Dana White decision, and on his X profile he hinted at who he would like to fight. The English champion could defend his interim title against the winner between Curtis Blades and Jailton Almeida. The Brazilian, as a submission master, would get a chance for the belt if he wins, and he is on a crazy 15-fight winning streak, so it would be interesting to watch him against striker Aspinall. On the other hand, Curtis Blades is the only man to record a win against Tom due to a knee injury after only 15 seconds of the match, so it would be great if Aspinall got his rematch and a chance to see who really is the better fighter. "I was very sick," Shamev said in his caption. "My hand was injured, so I couldn't return right away. I want to tell all the fans, I want to see myself in battle more than all of you. I love this job. I will do and prove that I am the best. As always we do. And I will be back soon to Insha Allah training." The shocking news broke on January 3rd when Khamzat Chimaev shared disturbing photos of what appears to be an allergy he had before his fight with Usman. His face was swollen, and he looked like he had been through hell. He soon deleted the pictures, but fans and MMA sites were quick enough to catch the moment. Chechen was on the bench for a whole year, and his return was questionable. But the photos he published reveal why, as Borz was truly sick. After coming back and defeating the short-notice Usman by the referee's decision, Chimaev unfortunately tore a ligament in his hand in the first round of the match, and that will leave him on the sidelines for a while. But Khamzat made it known before that the fire in him is still burning, and that there is no reason to worry when he wrote, "I'm coming back soon for my belts." What are the odds that Borz will show up on UFC 300? It would certainly be more fun with him in the card, and Dana White probably has some wicked plans for his superstar. We've said it once and we'll say it again, a stormy year is ahead. We believe we partially filled the void in your martial hearts with this video, and we will be back soon to do the same again. Leave your comments. Your opinion is important to us. Tell us what you think about today's topics, and we will see you again on the MMA Corner TV channel.